abreast with the happenings in the polity.
Nigeria is on drink and on oxygen, and how can we get out of this?
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of the family, and he must protect me.
Standpoint. The center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM, Umahia.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
It's a beautiful, beautiful Monday, and it is the 22nd day of the month of May, the year of our Lord 2023, and just about 12 minutes past the hour mark of 10. We apologize for starting slightly behind schedule. Just had to pull the brakes a bit, wait for my guest to get here so we can have a robust, interactive, incisive engagement in terms of the conversation. That's what we do, Monday through to Friday, right here on Rapid 96.5 FM, your station of choice. Of course, the sound of your city. I am Camion John, the beloved, also known as the controversial. And today, we, as you know, all through the month of May, every Monday is Standpoint Special Focus. Yes, Standpoint Special Focus, where we get to do a review of the almost 8 years of the outgoing administration led by His Excellency Governor Victor Okezie-Ikpeazu, and of course in a bid to set an agenda for the incoming administration of Governor-elect Dr. Alex Otti of the Labour Party. In fact, we have just about 10 days, and it will be a completely different history will be made. Let me just put it that way. History will be made. Well, today, as I said, it's time to have a great conversation with the sound of your city right here as we today's edition of Standpoint Special Focus. Let's start by asking a question. What's your assessment of the previous and current set of commissioners in Abia State, of course, ably led by Governor Okezie-Ikpeazu? What do you think are the highlights of the Ikpeazu administration? Now, I know there's been a whole lot of negatives. Every time we talk about this administration, there seems to be negative. But my particular mindset is that if we dwell on the negatives, we'll never get to the positive. So, are there positives in this administration? And if there are, I think those should be the building blocks that the new administration should start from. Those positives should be the foundation with which the incoming administration will be able to, take Abia to the next level. As they say, government is in continuum. There's no vacuum, no lacuna as far as government is concerned. So we'll take a quick breather, and when we come back, you'll get to meet my guest as we begin to once again on this special focus edition of Standpoint X-Ray the government of Governor Okezie-Ikpeazu with particular focus as to the performance or performances of the various commissioners under his administration. It's Standpoint. Do stay with us.
As the Victor Ikpeazu's administration counts down to its last days in office,
the new administration come May 29.
Come, let's take a look at the performance of the outgoing government through the eyes of you, the people. Standpoint Special Focus Edition. It's an evaluation of the projects and policies of Governor Okezio Ikpeazu's government in the last 8 years in Abia State. It's a democracy, a government of the people, by the people, for the people, and now evaluated by the people.
Can't continue like this now. It's a very bad one. Someone is from here. At last, the governor of Abia State has done us proud.
Standpoint Special Focus Edition.
Special Focus Edition.
Every Monday in the month of May, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Justy, this one where you put your hand under your jaw this early morning. Waiting happen. Your goat don't die.
Holy cap, leave me oh. If to say my goat die, that one better oh. All the goods sold in my shop don't expire finish. No market. Since morning, I never say even 1 naira.
Hey, you never hear about Rapid FM Ahiana Market.
Ahiana
Market. Now Rapid FM program where we go help you tell people what you they sell, how you they sell them, and where your shop today with just take only 1,000 naira. We go carry your business and put them for the next level. Or your green also for phone with this number 080-6356-8266. Or you fit in Russia for Rapid FM Radio House behind New Government House Umahia, Abia State, Nigeria. Ahiana Market.
Let's do the show. Come on.
Do you think you're a fan of Rapid FM?
I love Rapid FM.
I love Rapid FM.
This is the place to be. Simply Rapid.
Knock it out on the Fan Zone with Mr. McDoney,
where you must answer more questions about what happened yesterday on Rapid FM to win the #1 title, Rapid Biggest Fan of the Day.
Plus, you get to win other special prizes too. Amazing, right?
I love the sound of that.
Join the fan base representing your favorite shows every Monday to Friday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on the Fan Zone.
Fan Zone. Exclusive to Rapid 96.5 FM.
I'm your biggest fan. Follow you until you love me.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It is a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. This is beyond partisan politics. It's unfortunate. And these are the kind of people who say that leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with the happenings in the polity.
Nigeria is on drink and on oxygen. And how can we get out of this?
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's island. I pay the bills of the family. And he must protect me.
Standpoint. The center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM, Umahia.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian.
If you just joined us, well, it is Standpoint on Rapid 96.5 FM, the sound of your city. The very first edition for the week. And, of course, it promises, as always, to be inciting and incisive, engaging, and interactive. I am Cameron John the Beloved, also known as the Controversial. And today is Standpoint Special Focus, and what that means is on every Monday through the month of May, we have and will, till the end of May, continue to x-ray the performance of the outgoing administration of Governor Okezio Ikpeazu. So today, we are assessing the performances of the various commissioners under his administration. And I have my guest in the studio in the person of Chibuzo Ejimagwa. He is the President General, Old Umuahia Development Union, Federated and Overseas. Chibuzo, it's great to have you join us this morning on Standpoint.
Thank you very much.
Right. Let me go straight to there's a question I want to ask. That's the first question that came to my head, but I won't ask that one just yet. But as we go further, I will ask that question. But let me ask you this: as an Abian and one who is a major stakeholder in the development of Umuahia and Abia in general, how would you assess the commissioners who have served under the leadership of Okezie Ikpeazu in the last 78 years?
Thank you very much. Very, very regrettably, we have not heard about much of these commissioners because these commissioners kind of flow on the air. The only commissioners we know or hear about in Abia State is either Commissioner of Information, who always protect the governor, talk about what the governor is doing, and perhaps some other person like Commissioner for development, infrastructural development, something like that. These are the two commissioners we've heard about. Other commissioners, no, we don't hear about them.
Okay, let me forgive me. I tend to play devil's advocate most times. Is it that not hearing or knowing these commissioners is as a result of the fact that of non-performance, or it's because they're busy performing that they are not putting themselves in the public glare?
First of all, the governor have to give a commissioner a prerogative assignment to do something. If the governor does not give a commissioner prerogative order to do something, there's no how you are going to hear about him. If the commissioner does something, the commissioner of information carries it. He gives the governor of the state kudos, a pass mark for doing something. But as far as I'm concerned in this state, I do not think that commissioners are being given a prerogative assignments to do things according to their area of commission. That is why you don't hear about them. If you don't give me something to work on, definitely I will be moribund. I will stay in my office. I'll wait for my money at the end of the month. So that's exactly what has been happening in this particular administration of Okezie Ikpeazu.
Okay, let me get this straight. I'm a governor.
Okay.
I win election.
Yep.
And I won the election based on the fact that I convinced my people that I have a plan or plans to better their lives and develop the state, right?
Yes.
I now get into office. I bring in my commissioners. Now, are those commissioners not supposed to take effect from the plans that I have laid down? It is natural because virtually all my plans will be tied to various ministries. For instance, if I have promised roads, naturally works, the Ministry of Works, the Ministry of Rural Development, for instance, and other agencies under those ministries automatically understand their assignments.
Yeah.
So I don't think I need the commissioner to come to me to begin to ask which routes, because the plan is there. You understand? The plan is there. Oh, we are starting with Umuahia because Umuahia is the capital. We need to give Umuahia a facelift. So we have identified the roads that need to be repaired or rehabilitated, and then we take it in phases like that because it's already on the plan. So do I need to instruct the commissioners any more than that, or is it that the commissioners, because we have a situation where we have square pegs in round holes, that is why the commissioners need to wait for me as a governor to instruct them?
Actually, my friend, the government do not work that way, the way you are saying it.
So how does government work?
Look at how government work with documents, movement of documents. So the governor have to approve something.
Okay.
After he approves it to a particular commissioner, the commissioner have to perhaps forward it to the permanent secretary, who at the end of the day give it to directors, so that at the end of the day they will now set out the nitty-gritty, or how much or how this work is going to go about. Then the document goes back again to His Excellency, who now authorizes the AG Finance, Commissioner of Finance, to pay based on the tranches.
But I thought that as long as whatever expenditure is reflected in the budget and the State House of Assembly approves the budget, it's supposed to be automatic.
And it is not automatic. It's not automatic. It's not the way we say.
Because I've had the fortune of engaging a former senior civil servant, somebody who retired at permanent secretary level, and he says once the budget has been passed by the House and it's assented by the governor, you don't need to go to the governor for approval for payment to be made. It's automatic. The budget, the accountant general of the state, naturally knows that the next thing is to disburse the funds to the various ministries.
He cannot disburse any money without the authorization of the chief executive. Chief executive authorizes every document, every finances.
So
he gives order. He gives document paper orders to the AG Finance.
So the governor signing the budget after being approved by the State House, isn't that the authorization that the accountant general needs?
No. For instance, if budget of Abia State is say 1.2 trillion naira.
Yes.
For a fiscal year of 2023.
Yes.
Definitely, the document has to go to His Excellency, and of course, the budget has a whole lot of dimensions.
Yes,
it's not
components.
only works, components. It's not only works. Their education is there. Some other parastatals and commissions. All of them are there. Local government and chieftaincy affairs. So at the end of the day, the commissioner of works, who is responsible for doing work for Abia State, has to say, okay, we want to start building road from Ikotep to Akwa Ibom. Please, His Excellency, approve. Then His Excellency will now minute back to him. Then he goes back to Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Works, and at the end of the day, they will go back to the directors, and at the end of the day, the directors will come back according to the ladders and back to the governor again for Commissioner of Finance to give to pay based on the tranches. You don't just, if the Ministry of Works need about, say, 200 billion naira, as the case may be, to do a work, you're not going to give him the whole of the money. You're going to give him the money in tranches.
Yeah.
And you supervise the job as the chief executive to know that he is doing the work and the money paid, is being utilized. Because at the end of the day, Abia State is going to call you, not the commissioner. Every commissioner will go.
So doesn't that also explain for why the question I asked you when we started this conversation, doesn't that explain why we don't know the commissioners? Because naturally the commissioners are busy doing the job, so they don't have time to come into the limelight. So naturally every question we have should be directed to His Excellency Governor Okezie Ikpeazu.
Definitely. If anything goes wrong, if anything goes right, everything goes to the head of the governor, whether he likes it or not. So nobody knows anything about the commissioner. Commissioner is an appointee. He can be sacked. He came through the radio. He will also go through the radio.
Wonderful.
Definitely, that's how it is.
But shouldn't the commissioners be able to give accounts for their period in service? I mean, naturally, even if I mean, for instance, say tomorrow, my good state of Akwa Ibom, under the new governor, Umar, wakes up and says, okay, John, because of your contributions to the media, come and do that thing you have done all over the place in Akwa Ibom and become the DG of AKBC, for instance. By the time he chooses that I should leave office, shouldn't I be able to give account of the period I have served as DG?
Because you have conscience. Most of these people who is working under Okazi don't have conscience, regrettably. And you see, as a governor, as a chief executive, you have to sit down and do this work. Yeah, I don't know whether you have been in government house in the last 8 years. That place is, like a deserted place. Nobody is there. The governor saw them come there. He stays in Aba. So
I know there's been so much talk about the fact that the seat of power has more or less moved from Umuahia, being the capital, to Aba. But the governor has explained that, and I think that is even the same explanation Mr. President, talking about President Muhammadu Buhari, has given, that government is not about being situated in a location. You can govern from almost anywhere, especially today.
I agree. Government can move around.
Good.
But government have a seat of power. You see, the seat of power of government is in Umuahia, where every parastatal, where every ministry is handy.
Now, if he has capable hands running the ministries, he is in Aba because he has said Aba is a business hub. He under his administration, he has tried to industrialize Aba, which means he needed to possibly supervise it personally, be sure that things go in the direction that he has envisaged as governor. Could that explanation suffice for why he has spent more time in Aba than Umuahia? Secondly, it is under his administration, it became public knowledge that the government house that we have so occupied for so many years was rented property, and which has given rise to him promising that before he leaves office, the new government house would be ready, and the new government will be able to now have its own government house where it will not pay rent. I mean, I don't know, are those not positives?
My dear brother, you see, the office of the governor is like a big elephant. There are so many paraphernalia that surrounds the office of the governor. He has so much power as the chief executive. The first question you ask, stay in Aba. What does stay in Aba have to do about it? Nothing. If he wants to visit where any work is in Aba, he can go there. He doesn't go there all the time. He goes there once in a while. Commissioner, what is going on in so and so place? Perhaps area. Well, is the work going on? Okay, give me an interim report. Let me know how it is going on. Then senior special advisor to the governor on works, go and see what is going on there
and give me feedback.
And the person comes and say, "Okay, the work is moving on fine." I say, "Okay, tell them I'm coming next week. I'm coming specifically on Friday to go, to come and see what's going on." They will fasting job, and at the end of the day, when you go there, you see what's happening there. Then you come back. The most important thing is that government and governance is all about movement of documents. You cannot papers need to move. But when you sit down on documents and they don't move, my dear brother, the government will stand still. And that is exactly what we were seeing with Okazi Baza's administration. You find out that nothing much really happened. If you were here when Governor T.O.G. was around, you see movement of documents. You see movement of the thing that makes government work is movement of document from here and there, approvals from here and there.
Okay. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, I want to know for you what the highlights of Governor Ikpeazu's administrations are, if any. What are the high points of his administration? But that will be after this break. Do stay with us.
My guy, which kind of paint have you used? We go make my house go well.
Na Sackloss paint.
Paint we go make my house shine.
Sackloss paint.
What about paint we go last for plenty years?
Na still Sackloss paint. Sackloss paint na ogbonge paint wey don win both national and international award on top paint matters.
Abeg, where dem dey?
Dem dey nationwide. Sackloss paint get one ogbonge wey dem call Sackloss satin paint. If dirty touch the paint, you fit use water and soap take clean am cha-cha. Sackloss paint get other ones like emulsion paint, test coat, gloss, sack flash car paint, matte, industrial marine coating, red oxide primer, aluminium, screening paint, auto varnish, and other barbarous products. For that correct building paint wey you need na Sackloss paint. Their price na shipping. For more information, call
0701 855 2224.
Hi, welcome to another day in the life of a Gen Z still living in Nigeria. As much as I recommend Googling every and anything, because of course there is unlimited information on the internet, I also recommend listening to what I would term the wisdom of the old. Remember when Common said this?
It take the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy.
Yeah. A lot of us Gen Zers are losing sight of the beauty of the wisdom of people older than we are. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with a millennial, and he shared a tradition he's been practicing that helps him to completely eliminate all forms of jealousy and envy. And trust me, I don't think I would have found a more relatable analogy, at least not easily, on any corner of the internet. So this is me saying, do not despise the wisdom of the old. Because, I mean, people have been living in this one world long before you came. So chill. Okay, that's it.
Celebrating your family and friends has become cheap like a cup of tea, easy as ABC, and rapid like it should be. You can send birthday greetings and goodwill messages on Rapid FM for just 1,000 Naira. Other events like weddings, child dedication, housewarmings, religious and government functions go for even less, 500 Naira. Now, your loved ones have no excuse not to celebrate you rapidly on your day, because all they have to do is visit our website at www.rapidfm965.com/request or call 07049 220965.
The National Guild of Radio Managers Private, the apex body of all MDs, GMs, heads of stations of privately owned radio stations in Nigeria, announces the maiden edition of its annual Business Summit, a platform for business discourse on revenue strategies designed to help radio stations increase revenue and optimize performance. P, ratings, profit, new tech, the radio of tomorrow. The summit features workshops, business interactions, client expo, excursions, and more. Date 23rd to 27th May 2023. Summit location, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Time, 9 a.m. daily. Attendance is strictly by registration and is also open to new and existing radio license owners, heads of marketing and programs, OAPs, broadcast consultants, among others. Businesses, broadcast vendors, SMEs are welcome to sponsor. For more inquiries on registration or sponsorship, call John on 0803-417-3565 or Patrick on 0903-805-0164.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It is a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. This is beyond partisan politics. It's unfortunate. And these are the kind of people who say that leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with the happenings in the polity.
Nigeria is on drink and on oxygen. And how can we get out of this?
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of the family. And he must protect me.
Standpoint. The center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM, Umahia.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
It's still Standpoint on Rapid 96.5 FM. It's not just Standpoint, but Standpoint Special Focus as we review the policies of the outgoing government under Governor Okezie Ikpeazu all through the month of May. Every Monday, Standpoint Special Focus takes center stage as we beam our searchlight or our X-ray beam on the outgoing administration of Governor Okezie Ikpeazu. Just before the break, I did ask my guest, the President General of Old Umahia Development Union, Federated and Overseas, in the person of Chibuzo Ejimagwa. Are there any high points that you can look at in the last 78 years of Governor Ikpeazu's administration and say, despite the non-movement of paper, of documents, he did this, he did this, he did this?
Thank you. Yes, we can look at the interchange to Sisioma.
Okay.
That's a good one he did there, which is not a very bad project, because if you look at how the congestion of vehicles were there before at Sisioma, and how everything, the cars are moving on now, you will give it to him that it was a good thing he did. At least that's the first flyover we have in Abia State. Right from 1991, Abia State was created. So I give it to him. Then as I was coming here now, I took a breather to the new government house. It's a good one. Beautiful.
I like it because it overshadows our side.
Exactly.
I believe it's an edifice to look at.
And very soon, this place is going to become a
beehive of activities.
Definitely.
Exactly.
That is exactly what government is supposed to do. You know, he is supposed to have done that earlier than that. Because you see where the government house, rented houses, that place, Library Avenue, is always congesting because of the narrow roads and because of activities going on there, banks and all that. But with this place now, you see, movement is going to come. This place is going to develop immediately. That's how government works. It doesn't cost anything to do that thing. It doesn't cost anything. Thank you.
It costs money.
It doesn't cost, because the most important thing that was done there was that Ochendo built the house, roofed it. So what you just need to do is to do this thing you are doing now. How much is it? If you put 1 billion naira in this, okay, let us assume put 1 billion naira. So are you telling me that the place will not be done, dusted? So government is all about movement. It's a movement. You don't sit duck and want miracle to happen as a governor. You have to move it. That's why you are there.
Some people say that Abians may not really appreciate what Okezie Ikpeazu has done now until he leaves office, and further down the line it becomes more evident that he really walked. Do you share that opinion?
You see, every governor that comes have where they did well and also where they didn't do well. They are not gods. They are not going to do perfectly well. They are human beings, you know. But you see, one thing about governance and governor is something must be looked upon and say, when this man was here, this was exactly what he did.
And he changed our lives.
He changed, like, to be very frank with you, Ibazu did our road, Old Umuahia, got to a point after Amuzuta, and we thought dualization would have gotten to Obakala Junction. So when you are coming from Aba, and you look at coming to the capital, and the street light he did, from some point at Old Umuahia down to Aba Road, after ceramics, beautiful. I give it to him. If in fact, people of Old Umuahia thank him specially for that road, because that road was so bad, very, very bad. But we kept on yearning until he did a very solid work there with Arab contractor, and specifically I will give him kudos for that. Then there are some other things he did in Aba. See, I used to know Ibazon before he became governor.
Okay.
I also knew him after he became governor. There is this situation room at Liaison Office Aba, where somebody brought in a pipe constructed thing, and that pipe stuff started from somewhere in School Road. And he poured water. The person is an engineer. Poured water on the pipe according to how he did it, and the extract of the water came out at waterside. You see, that thing was supposed to give him a very good pass mark in Aba, but I do not know whether he has the Abakara to do it. Because for you to do that kind of thing, definitely there are some houses in Aba that must go. Those houses must go.
But he's already being criticized.
Yes, let them criticize me. Criticize me for what it is. I will do that thing which is right. Criticize me. Then after, when I now leave office, you will not say, yes, this man did well. Human beings are like that. If you want to do something that concerns them, they don't like change. They hate change because it affects them. So, but if you want to do something for the people, you are not going to look at people's faces. Do it. Let it be done. Maybe in the next 10 years or 20 years, they will say, yes, this man did a good job. That was what I thought Bazu would have done. Create this manhole from somewhere in School Road or somewhere in Fox Road, and make sure that these pipes go through to waterside. Aba is flat, quasi flat.
Yes.
Yes. So there is nothing you can do in our area. You won't see waterlogged. There is something you will do in Ukumango. You are not going to see waterlogged, because that Fox Road, water is not getting out from anywhere. It ends up at...
so you need to channel.
You need to channel it. Houses must go. That is what we know.
I remember under the administration of Babatunde Raji Fashola, a number of houses went. My family property was affected. Though, to a certain extent we got compensated. But I agree with you, because Fashola told us, say, look, I'm sorry, you may hate me, but in the end you will thank me. And today, most of the things he did helped in solving some of the flooding problems of Lagos mainland, most especially. Of course, Lagos Island is a perpetual problem in terms of flooding, but till tomorrow, Lagosians appreciate Fashola for that initiative.
Thank you.
So I agree with you that